You're now looking live at the watch party of Representative Madison Cawthorn's headquarters. His campaign has been plagued by scandals and harsh criticism from fellow Republicans over the last few weeks. North Carolina voters have a little more than 2 hours to get those votes in. And Michael Hyland from our Raleigh-Durham station is live at one of the other North Carolina races we are following. Michael, you are covering the Republican Senate primary race there.
Right, we still have a contested primary here on the Republican side. The Democratic side got resolved several months ago, but we're seeing a pretty different situation here compared to Pennsylvania. Here in North Carolina, former President Trump-backed Congressman Ted Budd and a group called Club for Growth has poured more than $10 million into the state on ads for him, and he's taken a pretty sizable lead in polling here. We conducted a poll last week in partnership with Emerson College, which showed he's about 27 points ahead of his next closest rival, which is former Governor Pat McCrory. So in all likelihood, Congressman Ted Budd will be heading to a victory here tonight.
So the big race we're watching also, Representative Madison Cawthorn's district. We know he's had multiple scandals, driving without or with a revoked license, twice bringing a gun to an airport, but President Trump saying he should be given a second chance. Do you have any updates for us?
Yeah, very different situation in that race compared to the Senate race, because in Congressman Cawthorn's race, really anything could go at this point. We've seen this divide. Former President Trump has endorsed Congressman, as you mentioned, encouraged voters to give him a second chance. But we've seen the establishment Republicans here in North Carolina coming out against Congressman Cawthorn. Senator Thom Tillis, a Republican who's represented the state for several years, a group aligned with him has put $1 million into ads attacking Cawthorn and trying to encourage voters to support a different candidate, State Senator Chuck Edwards. And just today, Senator Richard Burr, another Republican here from North Carolina, told reporters on Capitol Hill, based on what he's hearing on the ground, he thinks Cawthorn probably loses. And in his words, he thinks that's a good thing if it happens.
All right, so, one person there saying that Cawthorn probably loses, but really, what are the odds he could get 30%, which would then guarantee him that Republican nomination?
It's really anybody's guess what will happen in this race at this point. The polling has shown with these almost daily scandals and negative headlines that we've heard about Congressman Cawthorn that his support has been dropping in the district. We've seen that turnout in his congressional district has been higher during the early voting period than anywhere else in the state. We've also seen a disproportionate number of unaffiliated voters choosing to vote in the Republican primary in that district. There's been this effort that's been going on for a while now to convince Democrats to switch their affiliation to unaffiliated and liberal-leaning unaffiliated voters to vote in the Republican primary to try to defeat Cawthorn now, thinking that they won't be able to do it come November. So a lot could happen tonight.
That's right, and polls are still open there. All right, Michael, thanks so much for that. Well, we now thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.